Welcome in, everyone, and get ready to dig deep as we unearth the fascinating world of earth signs. You know, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, those grounded souls we all know and love. We're diving into earth signs, exploring the earth element to uncover what truly makes them tick.
You've probably heard that earth signs are all about stability and practicality. But what's captivating is how these qualities aren't just surface-level traits. They're rooted in a deep-seated desire for security and a measured approach to life.
It's like that friend who always has a perfectly organized pantry, right? Everything in its place. But it goes beyond just being tidy. It's about creating a sense of order in a world that can often feel chaotic.
Exactly. And this desire for order extends to their decision-making process, too. Earth signs are methodical, weighing their options carefully before making a move. They're not ones to rush into things.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's less about being slow and more about being intentional. They want to make sure they're on solid ground before taking that next step.
Precisely. Now let's consider how this grounded energy interacts with the other elements: water, air, and fire. It's like a cosmic dance you see, with each element bringing its own rhythm to the floor.
Okay, I love that visual. So walk us through it. How do earth signs pair with each element?
Let's start with water, earth, and water. They complement each other beautifully. Imagine rain nourishing the soil, helping it thrive. They understand each other's rhythms, their need for both flow and structure.
That makes sense. They both have that grounded, nurturing energy.
Now with air, it's a little more, how should I put it, stimulating. Air signs are all about intellectual curiosity, flitting from one idea to the next, while earth signs prefer to stay grounded in the tangible world.
Like trying to catch a breeze. Air signs can be a bit elusive for our earth sign friends.
A very apt analogy.
Yeah.
And then we have the dynamic duo, earth and fire.
Okay, this one has to be my favorite. They say opposites attract, and this combination feels like it could be both exhilarating and maybe a little explosive. What's your take on this pairing?
It's definitely a fiery combination. Fire signs bring passion and impulsivity to the table. Think of it like this: fire can either warm the earth or scorch it, depending on the intensity.
So it's about finding that balance, that sweet spot where fire inspires earth signs without overwhelming their need for stability.
Exactly. It's about learning to appreciate the other's strengths while acknowledging their differences. Now, while earth signs have so much to offer, our source reminds us that even the most grounded individuals have their quirks. Let's dive into some of the challenges that earth signs might encounter.
Right, because no sign is perfect. Right. What are some of the potential pitfalls of being an earth sign? What should they watch out for?
Well, that same love of routine, that need for control that we talked about earlier, it can sometimes manifest as rigidity or even stubbornness.
Okay, so picture this. You're trying to convince your tourist friend to try a new restaurant, but they're dead set on their usual spot. Been there, done that. But how does this play out beyond food preferences?
It goes deeper than that, because this resistance to change can sometimes prevent earth signs from embracing new opportunities, new experiences that could lead to incredible growth. They might get stuck in their comfort zones, hesitant to venture out into the unknown.
It's like that saying, a ship in harbor is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. Earth signs might need that extra nudge to set sail and explore uncharted waters.
Precisely. And this is where the importance of balance comes into play once again. It's about recognizing those ingrained patterns and discovering healthy ways to navigate them.
So how can earth signs work with this inherent desire for stability while also embracing the need for flexibility and change?
It's a journey, and it starts with self-awareness. Recognizing those moments when they're digging their heels in and asking themselves, is this resistance serving me or is it holding me back?
That's such an important question to ask ourselves, regardless of our astrological sign. It's about becoming conscious of our patterns and making choices that align with our highest good.
Absolutely. And that leads us to another key aspect highlighted in our exploration: the transformative potential of earth signs. Because when these individuals learn to work with their strengths and challenges, they can tap into a wellspring of inner power.
And we're back exploring the intricate world of earth signs. We've talked about their core traits, their strengths, and even some of the challenges they face. But I'm curious about how this grounded energy plays out in their relationships.
This is a great question, and it's something our source dives into as well. You see, for earth signs, relationships aren't just about fleeting connections. They're about building something substantial, something rooted in shared values and mutual understanding.
Makes sense given their need for stability and consistency. They're not looking for a whirlwind romance. They want something that will stand the test of time.
Precisely. Trust and loyalty are paramount for earth signs. They need to know they can rely on their partners and friends, that they have each other's backs through thick and thin.
So no playing games, no drama. Just authentic connection and unwavering support.
Absolutely. And they show their love through actions, not just words. Think practical gestures of care, like cooking a delicious meal or offering a helping hand with a project. It's about showing up in tangible ways that demonstrate their commitment.
That resonates. It's about being there for the everyday moments, the big and the small. It's not about grand pronouncements of love, but those consistent grounding acts of service that speak volumes.
You've got it. Now, it wouldn't be a true deep dive if we didn't explore both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Even with all these wonderful qualities, there can be challenges in earth sign relationships. Their need for control, for example, can sometimes create friction if they're not careful.
Especially if you're partnered with someone who's a bit more free-spirited, perhaps. Someone who thrives on spontaneity.
Exactly. It's a dance, learning to balance their need for structure with the need for flexibility within a relationship. It's about respecting their partner's needs and finding compromises that honor both individuals.
It sounds like communication is key here. Earth signs might not always be the most emotionally expressive, so learning to articulate their needs and boundaries is crucial.
You're spot on. Open and honest communication is essential for any relationship to thrive. But it's especially important for earth signs who might tend to bottle up their feelings or avoid conflict.
It's about finding that balance between staying true to themselves and allowing space for growth and evolution within the partnership.
Beautifully said. Now, shifting gears a bit, I want to delve into something truly fascinating: the incredible transformative potential that lies within every earth sign.
Okay, I'm intrigued. We've talked about their practicality, their groundedness, but transformation, that feels like a whole other level.
It is. You see, earth signs possess this incredible inner strength, this resilience that allows them to withstand life's storms. When
Yeah.
they set their minds to something, they have the tenacity and determination to see it through.
They're like the rocks in a stream, steady, unwavering, even as the water rushes around them.
What a perfect analogy. And when they combine this inherent strength with their natural connection to the physical world, their creativity, they can manifest incredible things. They have the power to turn their visions into reality.
So it's about tapping into that wellspring of potential, that grounded strength, and channeling it into something truly meaningful.
Exactly. But here's the thing about transformation. It's not always a linear process. There will be bumps along the road, moments of doubt, maybe even setbacks.
Because that's life, right? It throws us curveballs when we least expect it.
Precisely. But it's how we choose to respond to those challenges that determines our growth. And this is where earth signs shine. They have this remarkable ability to learn from their mistakes, to dust themselves off, and keep moving forward with even greater resilience.
It's about transforming those challenges into opportunities for growth and learning.
Absolutely. And this leads us to another crucial aspect of the earth sign journey: the importance of self-care.
Okay, we touched upon self-care in the context of relationships, but I have a feeling it takes on a whole new meaning for earth signs.
You're right. Because they're so accustomed to taking care of others, to being the reliable ones, they often neglect their own needs. They forget to refill their own cups.
It's like the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. They can't continue to show up for others if they're not showing up for themselves first.
Exactly. And for earth signs, self-care isn't just about bubble baths and face masks, although those things are perfectly lovely. It's about prioritizing their physical and mental well-being.
It's about setting healthy boundaries, learning to say no without guilt, and carving out time for activities that bring them genuine joy and nourishment.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's about recognizing that self-care is not selfish. It's an act of self-preservation. It's about replenishing their energy so they can continue to show up in the world as their best selves.
And that's a powerful message for all of us, regardless of our astrological sign.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this segment, what's one key takeaway you hope our listeners will glean from our exploration of earth signs and their journey?
That's a great question. I think the most important thing to remember is that earth signs, despite their love of routine and structure, are capable of incredible growth and transformation.
It's about embracing their strengths, their practicality, their groundedness, their unwavering loyalty, while also challenging themselves to step outside of their comfort zones to embrace flexibility and change.
Exactly. Because when they do, when they allow themselves to evolve and expand, they become unstoppable forces of nature. They inspire us all to live with greater intention, purpose, and connection to the world around us.
I love that. And on that inspiring note, we're going to take a quick break, but don't worry, we'll be right back to uncover even more insights about our grounded earth sign friends. Stay tuned. And we're back, ready to dive into this final layer of our earth sign exploration. We've covered so much ground already, but I'm really curious about the practical side of things. We've talked about the importance of self-care for earth signs, but what does that actually look like day to day?
That's where the rubber meets the road,
Right.
right? It's easy to talk about self-care in theory, but weaving it into our busy lives, that's the real challenge.
Hmm.
Especially for earth signs who are so often focused on taking care of everyone else.
It's like they need permission to prioritize themselves, to recognize that self-care isn't selfish, it's essential.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. It's about finding those small grounding rituals that resonate with their earth sign energy and incorporating them into their daily routines.
So what are some specific examples? What are some self-care practices that really click for earth signs?
Well, we've touched upon this throughout our conversation, but connecting with nature is like a superpower for earth signs. It's a way to recharge, to find a sense of peace and balance in a world that often feels chaotic.
It's like hitting the reset button, reminding them of their connection to something larger than themselves.
And it can be as simple as taking a walk in the park gardening, or even just stepping outside to feel the sun on their skin for a few minutes. It's about reconnecting with the earth's rhythms, grounding themselves in the present moment.
It's about tuning into their senses, really experiencing the world around them.
Exactly. And because earth signs are so connected to the physical realm, mindful movement is another fantastic way for them to prioritize their well-being.
So we're not talking about intense workouts or pushing themselves to their limits.
Not necessarily. It's more about finding forms of movement that feel nourishing and grounding. Think yoga tai chi, or even just gentle stretching. It's about releasing tension, connecting with their breath, and cultivating a sense of inner peace.
It's about honoring their bodies and listening to their needs.
Precisely. And speaking of honoring their bodies, let's talk about nourishment. Because for earth signs, self-care also involves making conscious choices about the food they consume.
It's about nourishing their bodies with whole natural foods.
Exactly. It's about slowing down, savoring each bite, and appreciating the nourishment that food provides. It's about treating their bodies with respect and care.
It's about understanding that food is not just fuel, it's a source of pleasure and nourishment.
Absolutely. And last but certainly not least, earth signs need to prioritize rest.
I was just going to say that. They're so accustomed to being busy and productive, always on the go. Rest might feel like a foreign concept sometimes.
It can be a challenge, for sure,
Hmm.
but it's essential for their well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to mean 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep every night, although that's wonderful if they can manage it.
It's about listening to their bodies, recognizing when they need to slow down and recharge.
Exactly. Whether it's taking a nap, curling up with a good book, or simply disconnecting from technology for a while, it's about giving themselves permission to rest and recharge.
It's about understanding that rest is not a luxury. It's an investment in their overall well-being.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, I feel like we've unearthed a treasure trove of information about earth signs in this deep dive. We've explored their core traits, their strengths, their challenges, and their incredible capacity for growth.
And we've discovered that beneath that grounded exterior lies a world of depth, resilience, and unwavering loyalty.
They remind us of the importance of staying true to ourselves, of finding joy and simplicity, and of nurturing our connection to the natural world.
Beautifully said.
So as we wrap up this episode, I want to leave our listeners with this. The next time you find yourself feeling ungrounded, scattered, or disconnected, remember the steady wisdom of the earth signs.
Take a deep breath, connect with your body, spend some time in nature, and remember that you are capable, resilient, and worthy of all the good that life has to offer.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we'll say goodbye for now. Keep exploring, keep learning, and until next time, may you find your own unique way to embrace the grounding energy of the earth.